What's going on, guys? I am Mr.Deranged. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure to click the subscribe button. We're trying to get more subscribers than I have intrusive thoughts. So far, the intrusive thoughts are winning. Might want to subscribe. Help me out. All right, today we're going to be checking out a song by Polaris, Pray for Rain. This is like one of my favorite songs by Polaris. My favorite one is Masochist by Polaris. But this is like right up there with it. So we're going to be checking out this one. This might be more of a breakdown than some of my other videos. So if you're into that, stick around. I hope you enjoy it. If not, we'll see you on the next one. But either way, this song is fucking awesome and deserves your attention. Unfortunately, this song does not have a music video, so we'll just be looking at a screen that just shows a guy that's walking on fire and listening to the song. But I hope that one day they get a fucking video for this. That would be awesome. I mean, it's only 6 years old, so maybe. Anyways, this is Pray for Rain by Polaris.
The mantle of the heart, a river flows inside. We drain ourselves in steady streams until the river runs dry.
So just the fucking beginning of that, I really loved. I love the way that he sounds and the aggressiveness in his voice when he says this. And I think I explained this in the Masochist song that I did, but just in case, the first time I ever heard Polaris was live at Louder Than Life, and they were fucking awesome. Just absolutely awesome. The Louder Than Life was a complete shit show. It was during that hurricane, so it was all muddy and shit. Everything just sucked. It was still badass shows, and these performers were just awesome. This is the first time I ever listened to them and just absolutely fucking loved the sound of it and loved their music just like that. Like instant fan right away just from seeing them live that one time. But the lyrics here, at the mantle of the heart, a river flows inside. We drain ourselves in steady streams until the river runs dry. So you just like give so much of yourself that you just completely dry up. You have nothing more to give at all. And that's what I get from that part is just you're pouring out your heart for somebody or for something, whatever it is, and you just have nothing more to give at the end of that.
We drain ourselves in steady streams until the river runs dry. At times these tides define us, deny us of ourselves. A finite source of optimism that leaves a hollow shell.
Fucking love it, man. I just love the energy and like the amount of like force he puts into like every word that he says. It just seems like there's just so much like emotion into it, and I just love the way that he does that. It's so fucking awesome. But at times these tides define us, deny us of ourselves, a finite source of optimism that leaves a hollow shell. So at times these tides define us. So back to like the river analogy, there is like, so sometimes you're just giving so much and they just define exactly who you are. And people are like, oh man, that guy is so awesome. Did you see what he did for so-and-so? Or did you see what she did and how she, you know, rose to this and blah, blah, blah. And like, they just, it defines you of who you are. And it's just like this, it's very optimistic, which, most people are pessimistic, but optimistic, like just outgoing, outseen, outgoing, like optimism, like positive attitude, constantly rising, not letting others put them down, not allowing negativity to instill inside of them. and just putting out a positive thought and positive attitude for everything that they do. And that defines who they are, because they're just doing all this. But then it leaves what he says that leaves a hollow shell, because you've given so much of yourself and you've done so much and you're putting yourself out there so much that there's just nothing left. You're just like this, like somebody had said that I have a hollow stare when I'm looking at the camera. Like I'm like dead inside, somebody said. And that really got to me, you know, and like, I try not to read like the negative in the comments. I just try to read just the positives. I will read, like, I will say stuff, but that got to me, because I was like, God damn, do I really have a hollow stare? Like, is that the way that I look at people? Like, you just like, there's just nothing. I was like, fuck, man, that sucks. But like, I understand it. I've been through a lot of shit. I understand that there's like a hollowness to the way that I look. But yeah, like, you've given up so much that you're just nothing but this hollow shell. Every lyric in here has deep emotion, deep meaning, and just so much like strength in the words. I love it.
Optimism that leaves a hollow shell. And as the seasons pass and winter's numbing cold gives way to pain, we light these fires to sip aside as we pray like hell for rain.
And that's where it starts to get really fucking good and really fast paced, is right there. He says, and as the seasons pass and winter's numbing cold gives way to pain, we light these fires to sit beside as we pray like hell for rain. So you're just hollow, and you're just kind of passing the time, and the seasons keep coming and going, and the winter's numbing cold gives way to pain. I don't know if you've ever had, like, a lot of people have surgery and stuff like that, and the cold actually hurts them more during the cold, because your body kind of tenses up and seizes up. Everything's just flowing together and just sounds so good. I absolutely love the sound of everything that he's done here. I can't say that enough. Like, I really can't say that enough. I told you it's one of my favorites. At the hours before the dawn, the last embers burn till day. It's all I hang my hope upon. You can't take that away from me. So he's only got so much left, right? And he's just burning, and it's just burning into these small embers, but he's still burning. And he's like, it's all I hang my hope upon, and you can't take that away from me. So, but they're praying for rain, but the fire's still burning. Like, no matter what, there's still a small little ember burning inside of him, and you're not going to put it out. He's still going to keep going, and you can't put him down. That's the optimistic side of this song, where he's like, I'm still optimistic. You're not going to stop me. I'm still going to be positive. I'm still going to be going forward, and you can't stop me. Fucking love that. Every morning in the mirror, I see my worst enemy reflected in me, because I'm a born unbeliever, a cynical soul. I can only trust as far as I see. I don't know if you've ever woken, like I've said in a previous video that I got to a point where I didn't even like looking in the mirror. I didn't like looking in the mirror at myself. I absolutely hate it. I just do what I had to. I'd just leave the mirror. Because that's all I saw was like this hatred looking back at me from the mirror. like the inside of me just looking out and just being the most hateful person that I could possibly be. And that's where he's like, because I'm a born unbeliever, like just doubtful, pessimistic, a cynical soul, and I can only trust as far as I see. And that's where I talked about in another song, you got pour trust in, you got to keep pouring it in, even if you don't have trust. Like I've said in the past, you know, I never really trusted people. I still have problems with trusting people. But that's where, you know, I can only trust as far as I can see. I can only trust you as far as I can throw you, is one of the other things I've heard. So I can't throw you that far, so I can't trust you that much. So it's that concept of what he's saying there. And then he snapped back into reality. So he's looking in the mirror. He's feeling this way. And he's like, but every time I close my eyes, I'm who I used to be. And I never thought I'd feel so cold until the fire faded out of me. So he was the last ember left, and he was optimistic, and you're not going to put him out, you know, that type of thing. But then when he finally went out and the fire finally went out, you know, he's just like, I'd never felt so cold until the fire faded out of me. So he never felt this way before. He never felt so evil, so to speak, or pessimistic, or just in nature, just bad, like feeling this bad and this alone. Just absolutely amazing. Fucking love that part. There's just so much in there. I've never felt so cold, such sacrifice for so little to show. So he's just given so much of himself, and there's just nothing to show for it at the end. There's just absolutely nothing. You know, that makes me think of our veterans and how much they've sacrificed for us mentally and physically. Some of them disabled permanently for the rest of their lives, and they're still struggling to even get by. And there's like all these like, oh, you know, support the veterans and do this and do that. And it feels by looking at them that they're not getting the support they deserve. And yeah, a good pat on the back, you know, like, hey, thank you for your service. That doesn't really go a whole hell of a long way when, you know, you've been shot 6 times and you're missing a leg. You know, I think that they actually need more help than that. And a lot of it does stem for mental health too, because a lot of them are really messed up. And so that's where I think of with sacrifice. You know, you give up so much, and there's just nothing to show for it at the end. They've made plenty of movies on that, so you can go and see those. And to learn these lessons, I'd never wanted to know, to go through all this stuff and just learn the bad side of everything. You wish you would have gone your entire life without knowing this lesson. Like, why did I have to be taught this lesson? You know, that type of thing. But you gotta try and keep up and try and keep your head held high and happy even after those lessons you've learned. That we all die alone, and how my blood remains on the tip of the blade as it severs the flesh from the bone. So being like completely stripped away, alone, and just vulnerable is what I get there. Just so powerful. And I love this part because he's like speeds up, and then like that breakdown comes, and I just fucking love the way that it's tiered like that. It's awesome. so there's all the emotion, and it's going to drop down to a different type of emotion. But he says, so far beyond the below, so he can't get any further down. And he goes, I was there when they sowed the seed, so when they just completely sentence him and like he's done. He's absolutely done. He has nothing more to give. And he's just done. I was there when the rats came out to feed. So if somebody turned his back on him, stuff like that. And when the rain came, it extinguished the flame in me. So he's no longer, you prayed for rain for that long, and it finally came, and he's just no longer out. He's no longer able to be out there and positive. He's just like he's accepted what's happened to him, and he's accepted his fate, and he's just like, I'm done. He's just like, he just like leans back and he's just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, like type thing is what I get out of that. And that's just so, because there's just so much heart and like emotion into that part, and then this is where it slows down.
And extinguish the flame in me.
So right there, he says, as I slept, these seeds of doubt were sown. I tore my heart apart for this in hopes my light would grow. So he just kept giving all of what he had there. And as he slept, this dreams and this weight would fall onto him because he couldn't have that barrier up anymore. So everything would just fall down onto him, and all the doubt that he'd feel throughout, that he'd constantly fight off, but finally just like we're in him, and just tore his heart apart. And that was it. There was just the doubt had entered his mind. The virus, the negative thoughts had finally gotten into his head, and there was just nothing more that he could do there.
And I dreamt about a place where all out that you could withstand. I look in fright, about to find the blood was on my hands. Every time I close my eyes, I'm not used to be. But I used to be. Never thought I'd feel so cold until the fire faded out at night. I've never felt so cold.
All right, so there at the end, he said, I dreamt about a place where all my virtue could withstand. I woke in fright, applaud to find the blood was on my hands. So he was just like, everything just came crashing down, and he could no longer stand it. So those who had turned his back on him and stuff like that, and just completely destroyed him, no matter how positive he was, he finally was just like, I can't take this anymore, and he blacked out, and the evilness or negativity infiltrated his head, and then he woke up and he was covered in blood. He had blacked out. He's like, but every time I close my eyes, I'm who I used to be. I never thought I'd feel so cold until the fire faded out in me. I've never felt so cold. So he's alone. Now the fire is completely gone, and he's completely alone. Absolutely love the song. Like I said, I saw Polaris live. Instant fan, just fucking absolutely love their music. There's so much emotion and energy when I saw them live, and it plays like that through their music too. I just absolutely 100% fan of Polaris, just absolutely love them. And this song is one of the top ones for me. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this breakdown. This is more in-depth one because I love this song so much. I have so much feeling towards the song. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more like these, let me know down in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And let me know what your guys' favorite songs are. What song is like this for you, where you're just like so into it? Every word that they say, every line, it does this for you, because this is one of mine that's like, I'm so into this song. Anyways, we will see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.